conduct some commerce using their own currency. Overall, will help US dollar steel development. And I do not see, and in the near time, we will have any substitute.
You don't see that
No,
impacting us
not
printing
in
money
time.
or?
No, still not. Why? The biggest one purchase is still Japan and China. And this is part of the reason we still keep doing business with them. You don't want to have a bad relationship with your biggest customer. So in that sense, they still purchase U.S. Treasury bonds. Now, so the market is kind of surprised when Bernanke at the last meeting, I think a couple of weeks ago, he decided not to do anything, let the quantitative easing still, they purchased $86 billion every month. That was $86 billion to the market. The market is surprised because people think about where about the economy is recovering. So it's naturally the tendency is interest rate will go up. But Bernanke didn't do it. Federal Reserve is that their quantitative easing worked. People argue probably in 2007, 2008, up to 2009, when the economy is really in deep recession. That time, a loose monetary policy is a good one. But after that, starting from 09, 10, 11, we don't see any new job come up due to Federal Reserve stimulus. So people think about it's a failure. But why they still continue doing it? One reason people think Federal Reserve more than psychology than real stimulus. Because the Federal Reserve said that we're going to continue to push the low interest rate. It might give a lot of people some kind of psychology. We'll buy more houses and spend more. Right? But overall, Federal Reserve should not be a driver of the whole economy. It should not. I just think even Bernanke and Greenspan is too high profile. Every time we have economic recession, people are not looking at the White House. People are looking at Federal Reserve Chairman. That is not the way to do it. What they can do is to manipulate interest rate. Now the interest rate to the low is so low, there's no, the economy is not stimulating anymore. We don't see people hiring people, economy recovering. I hope whoever the next Federal Reserve Chairman or chair lady should keep a low profile. It should not be like a major driver, everything people are looking at for any stimulus from Federal Bank. As people will worry, eventually, you are flood the market with so many US dollars. People don't want it. The dollar will be oversupplied or collapse. When the dollar, people don't want to accept the dollar, then we are in deep trouble. But I don't think so. Although, because of that, we have Congress a fighting today. About 4 hours later, we are basically out of budget. The government is shut down. It's part of a struggling, and people even threatening U.S. They are not going to increase the limit of debt limit. In words, they are not going to have money to pay for all those debt obligations. I don't think U.S. will ever default for the time being. But the danger is you all keep on crying wolf. You keep on crying wolf. Then nobody take you seriously in the real world situation. We know the U.S. economy is okay. You do all those gestures, right? Shut the government down, etc.
It's like they're sending mixed messages, though. With this low interest rate, they want everybody to go spend money. They don't spend money.
Everything is in comparison.
The
U.S. economy, all global wise, is still healthy. So we're in good shape. We're not default. So you see the politicians, they are trying to push the car. If U.S. is really in that situation, like a Greek, who can do that? You know you are going to default because we will not default. So we make all the gestures, right? You have a American trying to kind of spend, Democrat and push all the skin healthcare is an issue. Who knows, right? next year we'll see. Next year we'll see. If you are so insured, who pay for it? And this is a big question.
But the thing is, taxpayer for paying for it.
Eventually.
If people go to the hospital, he hasn't picked up the garbage, they got no
Modern
insurance.
society sometimes just it was necessary us. We don't want to see the citizens the sin the hospital. Some ways where in it's not because necessity. So the hospital. You are because just U.S. because the U.S. they will not follow. So the politicians should really push to limit. They are like bring him up change the bad so you know push to the limit and government money about it. So there's a couple of things that shut this one. The classify government by government they are necessity. Just you I you have to be if you are necessary it's never usually that you should help us to help but you no, yeah.
You would have fired everybody, had everybody. So why did it fire? Why all the firemen block?
Because there is still chance of the owner is so many wants. When the situation yeah, not going to spend. Okay. So what are we looking at? Interest rate is a rate. I thought it's looking at money and it's all flies and the interest large trade is bonds issue of bonds government issue government issue many shots but explain. You can buy one issues one issue one one never issues never.
Because they're
no, there's no ownership. There's no ownership. There's no voters. Voters not have ownership. So they can say our is a bond. The only thing is the is a bond.
technically do own the government.
And if you're looking at all the financial instrument, bond market is the reason government or government or
So the government uses bonds for money?
yes. It's a form of IOU. Here I just showed you a couple of debt. The government debt is bonds. The red one represents the government debt. The black one is total debt. The tendency was starting from 1980. The debt level increased drastically. People say, wow, where is the blip? It's like in 1945, 46. Anybody can explain that? When the company, when the country went to war, they usually issue war bonds, right? Either by material tanks or ships. So they own war. After that, when it relatively lower level until 80. And lately, it seems like the debt is skyrocketing. The level is shooting up.
Was that wars we were financing then?
No, those are the war.
No.
The part you can say is a funny part of the reason is 9/11. The war on terrorists. It's cost a huge amount of money. Just look at airline security. Those are all government employees. Before that, it's an airport employee, right? Now all government employee. They have a very good benefit and high salary.
No, my question was what year was the money used in value? It was 2008,
I was thinking if it was adjusted for inflation, and it is, because it's used in 2008.
Yes. In other words, if you're looking at just for inflation, then it's a proportion of GDP. A proportion of GDP. During the war period, the borrow is 120 of GDP. So you manufacture 100, but you borrow 120. Not extraordinary situation. In other words, although we have absolute values higher, but proportion to GDP is not high. Because now GDP is very big. So in that, but we do see an upward trend. And you will see that government try to put a ceiling on it. They put debt ceilings. In order to renew that, at a certain level, you have to, Congress have to approve it. This is part of a fiscal conservative to put a brake on it. But I think the government says, I don't think that they will stop there, right? So the debt ceiling. The reason we put a debt ceiling there is that there is some kind of a way to control the runaway borrowing. So who knows what happens? But the latest situation we can say, the only thing I can comment is because U.S. economy is relatively strong compared to Europe, you have politicians pushed to the limit. They are play the gamesmanship, pushed to the limit. But if you think they shut down government for a longer period, if they do not honor their debt obligation, they do not pay people interest rate, what will happen? Then real become debt deep. That what leads to future borrowing costs, very, very high, because you have bad credit. Right? Next time you want to borrow, the interest rate should be high. So I don't think the politician will go that far, but let's see what happens. Now let's look at U.S. Treasury, the ownership. There are certain things. The first two slides showed you, although we have a high debt level, a percentage to GDP is not that high. In other words, you still have a capacity to borrow.
So these are all the people that.
Now this is exactly in 2008, the treasurers, the ownership, who own the U.S. Treasury, who lend the money to U.S. government. The largest one is the
Federal Reserve.
what is it?
49, the last one. It's like the bottom. The last one of the federal. Yeah, at the bottom.
Oh, the bottom one, yeah. Foreign reserve have intra-government holdings. Half of it is the holding by foreign government. Half of it. Half of it. The next one, this slide one, is the foreign and the international, I think, the private. Those are more government borrowings. So in other words, people are using U.S. as their official reserve. So the larger ones are borrowing. Doing business with the U.S. So the trade surplus, they give us goods, we pay the greenbacks. Where they put the greenbacks, they buy U.S. treasury.
So is that why insurance companies have leverage over government?
The insurance company obviously is the large holders of domestic holders. Now here it shows you gradually all those increase. The increase, the net level increase. Interesting is the country, this country is the largest. Number one, China. Number two, Japan. These two big countries, they are looking at their holding level is much higher than this. Part of reason trade surplus. They have a huge trade surplus. From us and from China and from Japan. They give us candles, as called weight and green. Even now, even have their computer credit numbers. The next one was the United Kingdom. The focus one is oil export, OPEC, etc. So you will see that recent also is larger, but not at the level as China. China will China to other regions. That's important. That's why U.S. will pay attention to Asia. Because in the future, seems growth, high growth, so that is true that then it's not as
The oil export.
the South Sea.
So the really kind of research of the US.
Yes. Yeah, because this you remember in the US that basically US US part you get give up. Here's the one the number one right as an financial three very high level. Now, Europe is the Europe and US where social perfect effects are not high. In Europe, we know that the wide street in Spain, where the super too much now, no matter how, no matter what you have to collect, you don't like green like you do not very powerful but because we all evaded event but the gen and so also US have this current big issue is you know where the concerns couple my feet as told sure that they concerns yeah, jump
Reason, medicine medics, sure, because I made $2,000
or you small but you small
plans and insurance, but sure, but existing conditions before never they sure never about short on about.
what you have to people you don't choose about that wow.
Each prescription $200, and a man supplies $1,000.
But I think, this is kind of think about not the growth, the green the government basically not have to those in number one is Medicare, that portion is shrinking. You see that the Medicare part here is becoming different. The red one is the interest.
It's because it's aging population.
And also pay getting more and more based on the red one is the interest expense. When you borrow, you have to pay interest. It's like you're working on if you buy legal credit, you can buy a lot of things, they have things, and you see, and here you are now, the interest. And this line, this seems like a university prediction. After 2030, basically, you have the thing you pay is more than UPC. Obviously, we need to do something. We need to do something. Allow to the current current situation. We will do something. The good thing about the interest. That's why third what if find easy is because now you are happily accept it's a very low interest bonds. The basic US expose no interest. It's so low. But we keep on borrowing. As long as you have a two huge group in China and Japan that purchase US treasury bonds, the music chair game still plays. We can prolong the whole thing. When what happened is if they stop purchasing your bond.
And trade and gold between.
No, I don't think they ever go back to gold. Yeah, go too much this, like we will never go back to cash economy. Is that possible? You say we should not have credit card, credit card. No. Because economy we are already used to one kind of spending, in advance spending. Then you are really with the economy getting into recession. So we already are to that. So hopefully those will be under control. And remember, those are based on very low interest rate. But still, because you borrow so much, the interest expense will be more than what the entitlement is.
They need to make the governor of California president. He'd whip it into shape.
But Jerry Brown is pretty neat. I think he's a good one. He seems very surprised. The California and the economy under Jerry Brown did something. You know,
Yeah.
people can laugh at him, moonbeam or something, but he really understands California.
He got rid of all of the
Yes.
garbage.
He seems to not like a totally like a leftist, totally rightist. He's about right. Yeah. Hopefully we will. He definitely is better than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he
Yeah, only Jerry Brown can be a good governor. Who's in the after him?
Instead.
Here is showing you the total debt versus GDP. Also, it shows you the tendency of the more and more. Now, people say like a Greek, Spain, the debt obligation is so high, more than 100%. No big surprise. Why? Who is the largest high the debt level? Japan. Their level is 180% of GDP. Their level is more than that. But however, they borrow, but the largest borrower is domestic. They borrow their own people, not borrow from overseas. That's part of the reason so that they can have such a high borrowing rate.
So the money keeps flowing in the country?
Yes, even though you just spend the money you don't have. You borrow from, you promise your citizen that you will pay it back. Now, obviously, they want low interest rate, isn't it? Because it costs me less.
Okay.
Easy money. So we basically, the chart shows you the addiction to easy, low interest rate will still go very long period. Because low interest will benefit almost everyone, only at the cost of senior citizens or future children. Senior citizens, because they cannot take a risk, put the money in stock market, they put everything in savings, they are the losers. Because the interest rate is so low. And also our futures. Children, they have bear the burden of paying all those interests.
No college education.
But now, for the time being, the administrators, they are happy. In low interest, everybody wants that. And I think why Obama wants to keep Greenspan out, because Greenspan will have showed a little bit independence. So he does not want Greenspan the second term.
Wants him to toe the line.
Yeah. So you will find final one will keep on the low interest going. And is that a mortgage will go up? No, not substantial. Not substantial. Because this one will hurt everyone. You'll find as long as you have people. So in a sense, you can blame the population in China and Japan why you keep on buying U.S. treasury. Why you keep on buying it? Because if you keep on buying it, then U.S. behavior is like, right? And you keep on issuing, you should keep on issuing the debt at a very, very low cost. As you know, if the cost is going up, then sometimes you're hesitant to use it. But if it's so low, just use it. Or you'll find a dynamic on there. So let's go back to bond. So bond is a debt obligation. There are a couple of terminologies we use. Then look at a bond of cash flows. A bond, earlier we studied like a student loan, a mortgage loan. Those bonds we call amortization. Amortized bonds. Your payment will change. But in bond, which is the debt, is different. In bond, you have a principle at the very end. Very end, it's assuming the bottom for this task. It's like a piece of paper, but the coupons, the coupon is each payment year per year, so each bond has a fixed value, $1,000. So if you want to borrow $10,000 to be issued, you can. So, right, so each bond that we look at that's once it's mature, it's a pay you back. So that's not advertised. In room, you have a room in the very now, since for example, this is 30 years when somebody year, now you respond the bond back, which the bond price is back. The loan issue error, and issue is issue there borrow. You have your cash to issue the borrower. You issue bond, you borrow money. If I invest the bond and I'll let the money, okay? Okay? Now you probably should pay this $30,000. Now that's money back, okay. So the result you have Q payment in that curve that's you stay like months. Q payment is the coupon rate and times back the feedback. Now we use part when that feedback. The sale can sell and part but it's no, it's $1,000 the payment is basically coupon is year to year to maturity. This is very important concept in bond trading. When we're talking about interest rate, we talk about year. Words use as bond interest cost year called year you issue the bond year equal to bond. You issue bond so this class A interest 5 lot people 5% every now that 5% will 30 but more interest we can just walk can go down that that's one platform. So interest rate yield maturity and those are payment. Coupon are the same. Now maturity is the date and the bond and you repay when pay loans. So when we look at this issue, you see some $1,000 and a multiple payment discount at to maturity. Now, for the class use, so let's look at some example things on valuation. Value of valuation of security is its present value of impact of 50 cash. Interest rate are inversely related. When interest rates go up, you discount all the future the bond, the price go down. Or the other way around. When the bond price go up, interest rate will go down. Reverse relationship. Now, the mathematical formula is complicated. 2 options. This one is annuity. This one is discount future cash flows. But we do not use that. We use our financial calculator. We use all 5 inputs. Number of periods, yield to maturity, bond price, coupon payment, future value. And the future value is always equal to $1,000. To find $1,000, if the bond price, the present value is $1,000, we call it par bond. That means the bond sale that is face value. But because interest rates are constantly changing and value constantly changing, so the bond price can be above 1,000. Those called a premium bond, or below, we call it discount bond. Let's do some exercise on how to calculate bonds. There's one thing about government bonds. In tradings, is because the British system, we always like everything divided by 4. So we have quarter, eighths, sixteenths. The price quote sometimes is a little bit weird. For example, coupon rate is 6.38%. But it's quote like this way. So how do I calculate that? First, you just do 3 divided by 8, which equal to 875. Oh, more than that, double that. I forgot what that number is. Now this coupon payment is every 6 months, so divide by 2. So each payment is 31.875. In other words, the coupon, if it's semi-annual, we need to cut in half. Okay? When you do the calculation, sometimes you have to do the inverse, like an 8th, sometimes 16th, sometimes you have 30 seconds. You know, it's British system, they like you to do this one. So let's look at how do I do this. So this payment will be 31.875. The final payment, let's look at the final payment. The final payment is the principal 1,000 plus 1 coupon payment. Now we do this one, do calculation with the financial calculator. It's pretty straightforward. Now here, if required rate yield to maturity is 5%. 5% in that case, we divide by 2. It's 2.5 for 6 months. Now how do I calculate that? Now using mathematical formula is complicated. It's using our calculator. Let's do this.
Can you explain this 16 by 8% once again?
Okay. So the coupon rate for this product, coupon rate, are quoted at 6.638%. How do I do? First I do 3 divided by 8.
0.38.
So I do is 3 divided by 8 equal to 0.38. Is it rounding error?
7.5.
7.5, right? The rounding error, right? So if I put, in this case, this makes things more complicated. I have to use the second formation for decimal point. Okay. For decimal enter. Just put 4. Enter. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll do 3 by 8. Minus 0.375. So this one is equal to 0.063735. Everybody by this. This is your coupon rate. This is your coupon rate. This one, most one, second and the case in every 6 months. So this one should divide by 2. This divided by 2, you have 0.0318. That's 3.8. Skip around that. What? 1875. Now this one is a coupon. 6 months coupon. Using those 0.0031585 $1,000 times 3 number. And you have a payment equal to 31.87. You have said that how you that you the rate half face time face value you get the payment. So you have now use the calculator put our what 31575 okay. Year 3 years, but how 632 times 60 you see what this here 60 now face is give 1,000. Now interest what the interest is it tells you 5% is 5%. Now 5% interest is annual. Five annual. So here, I'm using 0.012.5 divide your interest rate. I'm using 5% 5 to 30. You 2.5 is my interest rate. But here times 2 times 6 is 1 by 1 you could have 0.1 equal to 2.5%. So we'll see 0.5%, 60, 1,000, you can be your perfect. That is 9. What's wrong? Yeah, I use something like hunting control. Oh, okay. I should get to the 37.85. Not Let's go up, let's pay them. So here is water. Is that right?
That's tobacco.
1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Now this one we call premium bond. That's premium bond. We pay more than $1,000. Why? Because years to maturity is 5 years. Five. But coupon payment is 6 of it. This bond gives you high interest payment than what the market provides today. Because that 5% is market price. It will go down. But coupon payment accounts. Now think about it. This, for example, Oracle issued a bond, Syria bond. The interest when they issue 10%. After a couple of years, now the market price is market value. Current situation only 5%. But this Oracle bond gives you 10%. Or you pay more. The premium. In other words, when coupon rate higher than yield to maturity, we have premium bond. Price is higher than 1,000. Now let's do the next problem, which is the opposite.
I know this is a really obvious question, but the coupon rate helps us to establish the payment.
Yes. Now think about if it's a mortgage. It's a mortgage, is not coupon. It's an amortized. You say, oh, I borrow 6%. Oh, that's 6%. Lock you in. You always pay 6%, no matter what the interest you put on the
So fixed.
It's fixed. The coupon rate is fixed. Unless you're talking about variable, no, you're about fixed. 6%. So this is a good investment. Because why? Because its interest rate, the coupon rate, higher than the market. Now let's look at the next one slide. This time, interest rate jumped from 5% to 11%. Now remember, what is coupon payment? 6.875. Now you have a market rate higher than coupon rate. So according to our argument, when coupon rate is below yield to maturity, right here, in this situation, 11, what will happen? You have a discount rate. Your calculation should be 85.667. Let me verify that is true. The only thing here I need to change is just the yield to maturity. 11 divided by 2. Put in I. Right? I must be 11 divided by 2. 5.5. What the heck is that? Okay, here's the interest rate. So we compute it for present value. I must have something wrong punch in it. We might be different. Oh, here the period is 10 period. $825. You see that number is less than 1,000. Why it's called discount bond, below face value? Because the market rate is higher. Market rate is higher than what the coupon rate is. Let's summarize on this slide. Bond price and the market rates for this company, interest rate, are moving on opposite directions. When coupon rate equal to yield to maturity, price at par, you sell at $1,000. When coupon rate is higher than yield to maturity, you sell at a premium. When coupon rate is below yield to maturity, that bond price is below 1,000 with sale discount. When the bond first issue, usually issue at par, but interest rate will change. But coupon rate never change, it's fixed. Therefore, you have the bond can be premium, can be discount. It will constantly change. The previous slide showed the relationship, the inverse relationship. So, at 6.38, which is coupon rate, this bond will be sold at $1,000. If the interest rate is below coupon rate, right? If the interest is below coupon rate, the bond will be set at premium more than 1,000. If the interest rate is higher than the coupon rate, you sell at discount. It's an inverse relationship. Now this one actually is easy to understand. Like Greek obviously, when they have financial crisis, downgrade like rating agency, but worried about default. Therefore, Greeks bond price will not go up. Greece, they had their debt downgrade. So bond price, Greek bond price go up, go down, because the bad investor nobody wants it. When the bond price goes down, the interest rate goes up. But they want to borrow, they have to pay high interest. On the other hand, if you leave a company upgrade, or they don't have default, the price will go up. When the price goes up, the cost of borrowing will go down. The interest and the price are opposite rate. Inverse relationship.
Wait, those rate goes up, then is a sense so people kind of willing to invest.
Yeah, the easy profit I want to buy a bond, get this try to get it. Then the coupon is fixed for interest rate, which is market return. So I basically want investing at one look price, the bond price. I want my one price to go up. What the price for the bond price go up, yield will go down. When you go down, people want to value. Who's buy investment? People buy the bond. So when the price go the cost go to I say Chinese government buying US bond. So to get them, so you get if they abuse you have to buy, you have to interest. So the people you are safe, you are heard the looking case, you can exactly people are printing this your
So the Japanese only Japanese and selling on
it's for me.
But then
People want to show the economy. They want everyone else have a job. Many just Therefore, they'll sell all those industrial goods just United States. Pay what? Pay US. But they don't use. They buy trade. They buy trade. They buy trade only by mortgage. Because the bond is high yield, high return, get
But they
They are but it was a good choice of choice. only history work. History, okay. What I is what I call what happened. Everything's everything sell stuff. Zero stuff. Then you pay the money, you invest in your church.
But the choice is that they have to invest in US, social investments.
Yes. You sense we have all it's not like a charity. But they found out that kind of exchange meet their goal. Their goal is to keep their people employed. This also hardest also in Germany. German salary is among all Europe countries like very low. Because they put exporting as a major thing. They will compete with all these competitors. On the other hand, you can look at the Greeks and Spain, they enjoy life. Now, they are weak, and Spain are not in like United States, which pay us, which pay our payments, all we can. Because domestic market too small. You want to buy a Japanese car, with a car, pay our own kind of car. You don't want that. But you can stay, yes. A lot of things, US policy, we cannot be copied by other countries. Because we are basically reserve, international reserve. People willingly buy it. Thinking about the US. So there's one thing you have to become quite bigger, become a huge debt. You never borrow money usually very tight. But when you get borrowed, you become more and more confident. Don't look at Donald Trump. The leverage becomes higher and higher. And he became the draw. Why? He can easily get rid of all the debt by declaring default. I owe you this interest rate, right? The government can do any default. It's like we shut the government down. We don't pay any interest. Yeah, they can do it. What the creditor can do? They can invade the United States? No. You see that? If you look at all the interest payment, if U.S. eventually do not have the money paid for it, what can they do? U.S. government can default just like Europe, like a Greek and Spain. You negotiate. You say, okay, extend our payment. Otherwise, I default. As we will move on, we're looking at bond investment. The one of the biggest risk. One is price risk. When you invest in the bond, you are afraid you buy a bond, the bond price will go down. When you purchase the company, if let's say the company AAA rated, you pay like $900. Now they downgraded the bond price from 900 dropped to 600. Same price. Investment bond, most people are worried about is the bond depreciate. It's like buying a house.
So what causes the bond to depreciate?
Bad credit.
So if we default?
Yes. No, the chance of default.
If the what?
Chances.
The chance of default,
Default.
will undermine.
And also interest rate goes up. When interest rate goes up, then your bond will go down. Then if your credit goes down, your bond price will go down. The other thing is reinvest. People think about what a reinvestment is. Reinvestment in here is the refinancing. Now, remember, when you are mortgage borrower, you are the borrower. You issue mortgage loan basically. So interest rate now is 6%. Now, why interest rate go down? Prevailing from 6% to 2%. What do you want to do? You're not still paying 6%. You refinance it. When you refinance it, you borrow money to pay off the old loan. The guy lends you for 6%, now he's stuck with the money. They have to reinvest. There's no other 6% they can reinvest. They have to reinvest on the low 2%. Those are called reinvestment risk. So investing in bond, there are two risks. Okay? Reinvest. Now, unless people are thinking about U.S. bond market, there is an argument. They said, U.S. bond, mortgage bond, can easily be refinanced. So when interest rate go down, it will refinance. But this is also at the cost of investors. At the cost of investors. We're not going to go detail. Here to show you. So the longer the bond, the more the risk we're talking about. 30-year bond versus 10-year bond. Which one more risky? 30-year, because you have more interest rate change, right? So this one is a longer bond. This one is shorter bond. This show you the price change. 30-year loan, you have 60 payment. 10-year loan, you have 20 payment. Each payment discount, 30-year, huge price increase or jump increase. Right? And coupon payment. High coupon rate, less price risk than low coupon rate. Why? Low coupon rate, you do not offset the interest risk. The extreme case is a zero coupon rate. What is zero coupon rate? There is no coupon. I'll pay you back 30 years from now. This is the deepest discount. If you will prefer high coupon, you get your money back earlier. So those are sensitive to the interest rate. Now, we also, just using our early time value, we're using 5 keys. So we have 1 key, again, interest rate, second key, F, third key, fourth key, payment key, fifth key is present value. We're given 4, 5, and 5. In most cases, you're looking at for a price. But in real life, you can give them any 4, 5, the other. For example, you can calculate what the yield to maturity is. So this is exactly what we do. For example, when you go to a church bond with the Federal Reserve, in the old days you can bid for church bond. You bid your price. As high as you bid it, you get a chance to get it. Right? So smooth price movement will determine what this yield is. For example, we determine sometimes we go about municipal bonds, how much is the price. So we want to know what is the bond, what is the yield to maturity, what the work cost comes to yield to maturity. Your given price, future value is, and for some, for our one example. Consider pen with 10% annual in 15 years maturity. Currently, at sale at the top, 1,000. Current is yield maturity. Now this and is better. We know that the yield to maturity must be below 10%. Still is
So your present value is 20.
yeah. Price stop. This is like calculation. We also have to go with the numbers bond calculation. The face value. This one here, 50 year, so this is and it's not any active items. 15 and 0. Coupon rate.
10.
Coupon rate is what the pay what. And I have to times equals 1,000 equal to 0 kingdom. Price is 8.0 change. You have to write that. You guys the answer here. You answer the error puts as this will be as it be. We have all these things. How you start high. So this is but the issue But the bond, but it's one, yeah, well, price, the price. So I think your calculation, um, your you can get it. Have to be in the actually in 9.2, 8.9, 8.9%. Issue, then the white side won't get that. Now the next one shows you how to set and set. Remember, just video problem here problem. If it's added, it's added. If it's added, you need to change one. You need to change is 20 years. Examine and Please still present value 1,917,997. Don't find for the next sign that now here is the issue. Is 10%, 10%, 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, and 1,000 go to 100. You divide by 2. This coupon is set exactly how many times? How many times? 20 times. Now the interest rate here is 4, and do not stop here. That 4% is a 6 months 190. How do I get add to here? I do. Sometimes people just stop there. I just for saying annual, everything is correct. You stop. No, stop. If it annualize, you have to times 2. The reason is because it's a semi-annual, right?
Okay.
So we are using 6 months as capital. Current yield, by definition, is the coupon rate divided by current price. When you invest, you are buying the bond, 20-year bonds only have 15 years. The price you pay, that one is running up. People sometimes want looking at current yield. Current yield not necessarily equal to yield to maturity. Okay? So this is current yield. Bond price is determined by its rating. Ratings, there are 3 or 4 rating agencies, S&P 500, Moody's, and Fitch. They give you ratings. Now, as long as you know the ratings, what the borrowing cost is clear. That's the market required rate of return is. So the pricing will be very easy. In other words, same return for same risk class. If your rating agency is AAA, your cost cross board AAA on borrowing cost, the interest rate is 5%. AA, 7%. The market determined. So if you know the price of one bond, you know the other bond, as long as they're the same class. Now in bond, this is a useful concept because you can look at a different cross-board asset based on its class and what required rating. We're not going to use this expression. We already give you the basic mechanic for bond pricing. The important thing is the inverse relationship. Yield to maturity go up, bond price go down. Yield to maturity go down, bond price go up. And how to determine the yield? Through bidding on bond price. Bond price determines the yield. Now, we also needed a brief discussion of, next week we'll study equity versus stocks. What the difference between a bond versus stock? We need to have a clear idea. Bond is a debt. It's not ownership. You pay for interest. Bondholders, also called creditors, they cannot vote who will become the CEO. No, they don't have the interest the corporation paid on it is considered a business expense, deduct before tax. Now you say the bond is relatively cheap sourcing of finance compared to equities. Now, if you cannot pay, if the borrower cannot meet interest payment, just like the U.S. government said, okay, we cannot pay our Chinese creditor or Japanese creditor the interest because we are hit our ceiling, we don't have money. What they can do in legally, they can bring you to the court using legal recourse. If you have any collaterals, people sell your collateral to collect money. Right? When the bankruptcy, bondholder paid first, then equities. So this is all the bond is an obligation. Excess using bond will lead to financial distress because you have to meet those obligations no matter what. Now compare with equities. Equity is ownership. You cannot force, if the equity don't pay your dividend, you cannot force them to bankrupt. And dividend is not a pre-tax deductions. Therefore, we have double taxation. You pay dividend after you pay corporate tax. You pay personal tax on dividend incomes. Dividend is not liability on the other hand. You cannot force the corporation to pay you. And in a bankruptcy situation, if the company 100% equity fund, all their own money, will never bankrupt. Or they can close their door. Because they own other people anything. Your own money. So if the company is a 100% equity, there is 0% bankruptcy risk. Not many people are using, not every large corporation uses that. A good example is Apple. Apple computer, they have almost no long-term debt. They have plenty of cash situation. But we do see people are using that to borrowing, like the Microsoft, that are using that because it's low cost. Yeah.
So companies can issue bonds?
Yeah. Company issue bond usually fund huge amount of interrogation from borrower from lender and from lender to meet the borrower's instructions. You put it on the book in order. So basically, you should convince you are able and willing to reach obligation. Otherwise, the end and you might. So the bond in the lender is a contract between creditor and issuers. The contract shows you the bond issue. And calculation for the or and what it can secure. It's pretty secure. We call it collateral. Collateral size is if you do not meet the obligation, I'm going to tell you using collateral is a way you use your pay is safe. Also, we are thinking. Okay, this one are actually years. The reason why I have the tendency to wait until last period. See that patient or this last in should order you to reduce the body forward on the fall along. The income you start usually have a side. High the start in power thinking protect the land the cost the water. You need basically you need off the off your earth. So what say also can have again offer the option in that you can reach if the race going then it's all right above to protect the investors. So it have those speed valves protect the land protect the land. You look at the source, the cap you have, that's for the fire. Therefore, whoever take that, you pay the government, whoever is cash, is the government. So who owns what? Who owns security? Most government run by using stock. More using now the venture which is unsecured bond insecure bond is how you the bond price is really now large what a bond is what it bond note in short-term like the tank but we do then my that my people issue 20 million notes about it. Anything about anything will cost about you can call it a 30 years note. So intangible note about it. Seniority. The corporation will continue to issue on the early issue have a seniority when it's liquidation. Senior guy can pay first and junior like the first mortgage, second mortgage, third mortgage, fourth mortgage. Require yield. Now this one I want using your business acumen will tell me what the cost will be. Now let's think about this coupon. How to determine coupon is based on risk. So coupon is the bank, the company, the borrower, the corporate bond, they want to pay low coupon. Let's see. If everything equal, which bond will have high coupon? Bond A secure, bond B insecure. Which pays high coupon? A or B?
Insecure. B.
Say again?
B. Insecure.
Pay more. Why insecure pay more? Risky. Don't pay 15%, don't pay 10%. I secure, don't charge me 15%. For those